Me? Oh, I got it. People worry if they see the performer in the same shot with a pop-up character. It's been my experience that the character himself is really what's interesting. Generally, the eye goes to the point. We've had
Also for scouting missions down here to Florida to help find the land for Walt Disney World. These two silver space pods are from the 1986 film Flight of the Navigator. Now in that film they may have appeared to be flying through the air, but the reality, folks, is that they were filmed in front of a blue screen, which enabled us to use a process known as chroma key to create the illusion of flight. We'll show you how that works on the special effects and production tour later on today. Right now though, as we round the corner, take a look up high and to your right, you'll catch an eye full of the award-winning Eiffel Tower. This structure stands 13 stories tall and is capped off by a set of mouse ears weighing over 5 tons. In case you're wondering, that's a cap size every day. We do a lot of laundry here as well. The fact you have to do a load of laundry every day for 33 years to get the equivalent of what we do here in just one day. But I'll tell you what, folks, it does take more than just a bunch of plants and some costumes for our production. You need the more technical aspects as well, and they are coming up next, starting off with lighting and grip. Inside, technicians put together sophisticated packages of light, audio, and filming equipment for production use here at the studios and around the country for everything from, say, television shows and movies to documentaries and even rock concerts. There's enough power in there to light up the entire city of Orlando. And this large empty space coming up on your right is where we store our Delta L1011 movie set. Well, what's odd about this street, folks? Well, basically, there are 8 different architectural designs here. Each one represents a different portion of the country. So you can go from coast to coast without ever leaving this street. Some filmmakers call this part of a backlot anywhere USA. Think of the advantages, though. You don't have to worry about crowds, traffic, or noise, and instead of moving your equipment from one shooting location to another state, you just move it across the street. Now, over here on your left, this Hawaiian modern-style home was home to the Emmy Award-winning Golden Girls. The exteriors for the show were done right here in Orlando, while the inside shots were done on a soundstage in California. So the reality, folks, is that it's about 3,000 miles from their front door to their living room. I think that's why the girls never come out to check the mail. It's just too long of a walk. The beige house on your right is home to the West Ends from TV's Empty Nest. And back on the left, this blue facade is a good example of what a set decorator does, adding things like the mailbox, the flag, and the basketball hoop to make it look like someone lives there. But if you walk inside the front door and take a few steps to your left, to your right, you're bound to fall into a pile of dirt because we don't put any floors in these facades. And I'll show you what they look like on the other side in just a few moments. I believe the word I would use is unique. Yes, unique. Well, we're going to move deeper into the backlot to an area called a boneyard. Now, that may sound kind of gruesome, but it's really not. A boneyard is more along the lines of an outdoor attic. It's where we store previously used props or set pieces. These are things we may or may not. Tank up here are from Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade. Now take a close look at the tank, folks. You'll notice it's on a trailer. That trailer hooked onto our camera truck. We never shot below the treads of the tank. In fact, the tank never rode on the ground. It rode on those little wheels that you see there. And the treads were made of foam rubber. That's why they're on the little wheels there, because Harrison Ford performed stunts on that vehicle, and there was a stunt double who actually performed on a real tank from a distance. The blue cars here are from the film Who Framed Roger Rabbit. They're the stunt doubles for the original vehicle, which remained intact. That way, if we had to go back and reshoot a scene, we had the car available. The trolley cars from the same film, but look at the wheels. And Harrison Ford. Take a look across the canal. You'll see that any architectural details like shingles on the roof, interior walls, and the siding, well, it just doesn't exist much beyond camera range, and that's simply because we only film what the camera needs to see. It's an old movie trick. It's called saving money. But a lot of times our production will call for a set or perhaps an environment that you might not find nearby or may not even exist in reality. The only thing is, how do you create the illusion that you're someplace that you're really not? Well, filmmakers use many different techniques. They use miniatures, matte paintings, computer animation, but in some cases they will actually take that area and build it from the ground up. Now they have to change everything when they do that, including the ground. Notice our ground covering changes over to a red clay. The fence around the area appears to be quite dirty, but it's actually painted on dirt. All the plants are from the southwest as well, to make this look like an active oil field in the middle of a rocky, barren desert canyon. Well, wait till you see what we've got in store for you up here, folks, because it looks even more realistic inside the canyon. As you travel inside, I'm going to warn you it's going to get very bumpy, so hold on to everything. This is also where you might get a little bit wet. The reason you might get wet here, folks, is because we are going to show you how we control the weather here. What we're going to do is make it rain in just a few moments. This set took over 6 months to construct. That may seem like a long time, but think about how long it takes Mother Nature to create something like this. As soon as we're inside here, we're going to activate a computer sequence which will run a little demonstration of how we control the weather here. I take a look at all the props and set dressing to make this look very realistic. Right now, what we're going to do is we're going to activate the computers, which will run what I call a 50% chance of rain, meaning that it's only going to rain on the front half of the set. You may wonder why we don't make it rain across the entire area. Well, we don't need it to, folks. Actually, the camera compensates for the lack of rain because it doesn't see anything in the way of depth or distance. I'll show you what I'm talking about. That rain should be kicking on any second now, and it will only go out to about where the oil tanker is. This is the way rain is done in many films. You see, we don't need to make it rain past there. If you close one eye, you'll really see what the camera sees. Notice that it appears to be raining across the entire area. This is where you get wet because sometimes the wind blows the rain inside the shuttle. I believe remain seated wire on board the shuttle here, folks. Now we're going to take up the fan here. Hold on a second, folks. I think we got the wrong computer sequence. Please remain in your seats back there. Apparently we're getting the wrong sequence here. We're supposed to be getting this green. We did have a crew in here earlier. I don't believe they reset the computer system. Hold on here. Whoa! Alright folks, now these fires are under control. They're just large amounts of highly flammable gas. Things are running. Well, I guess the good news is you're not going to get wet. First time that's ever happened again. Folks, you just survived Catastrophe Canyon. Check out the parallel parking job of that oil tanker as it resets to the next show. That's right, folks, it's just a show for your enjoyment. We are going to take you behind the scenes of this unique set to see how it was created, but I do have to tell you, those screens sounded very real. What a great acting job. You really looked like a here. Yeah. You're acting, right? I gotta tell you, I love the way this attraction brings families and friends closer together on the far right-hand side of the shuttle. Okay. Well, as you travel behind the canyon, you'll see that just like everything else here on the back lot, it's not what it appears to be. The canyon itself is made out of steel rods, wire mesh, and a whole lot of concrete. There's a lot more to it than just that as well, folks. You'll notice the yellow pipes running around here. Well, they carry gas to the fires and explosions as you saw. The larger Wi-Fi stuff ahead carry water for the flash flood. Now, that's about 70,000 gallons of water, and of course we don't just dump that water out after the end of the show. We recycle it. It goes back out to our tour. We're now on the other side of the park here. We have a lot of fun stuff for you to do over here. If you haven't seen it already, underneath that big yellow hot air balloon back there is Jim Henson's Muppet Vision 4D, a great attraction, one of the best in the park. And a little bit closer to us is Inside the Magic, the Special Effects and Production Tour, which is a 35-minute guided tour through the sound stages and special effects areas, where you'll learn more about miniatures, matte paintings, mechanical effects, and the blue screen effect that I mentioned.
Oh, the submarine. Quick, getting down in it. Don't know.